Hey, Brad, you know how Nationwide is more than an insurance company?
Yeah, they're one of America's largest financial services companies.
We get that in a song like business, life, retirement.
Or Nationwide's there to protect.
I'm kind of the jingle guy.
Not sure I agree with that.
Well, I'm not sure I like your hat.
Well, it would never fit on you.
Products issued by Nationwide Life Insurance Company or Nationwide Life and Annuity Insurance Company. The general distributor for variable products is Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
You have the food, the decorations, but you're running out of time to get the perfect holiday gifts. Good thing Sephora offers free same-day delivery. Order the best fragrance, makeup, skincare, and hair care gifts online and have them delivered from the store to your door today. No order minimums, only with free same-day delivery at Sephora. Use code GETGIFTS. Oh, Sephora, that was fast. Offer ends December 24th. Exclusions and terms apply. Beauty insiders only. One-time use available in select markets.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you can make sure your ride stays running smoothly. Brake kits, LED headlights, bumpers, whatever your baby needs, eBay Motors has it. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time. Plus, at these prices, you're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Through the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers help charities like the National Park Foundation. Subaru has been helping to expand waste reduction and recycling efforts across the national parks, ensuring these treasured places are here for generations to come. Thanks in part to the Subaru Share the Love event, over 400 national parks are being protected. Learn more at Subaru.com/share.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. My name is Cody Bradley. Thad Bell, Robert Russert are here. The old trio. We've dropped David for the weekend. He's at the Royals game. Couldn't join us. So the old trio is back. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well, but I think David would say he's at the Yankees game. Just saying.
That's true. Yes. The Yankees game, not the Royals game.
I think he has his priorities in wrong. Just wrong.
Well, I went to the game last night, and it was also not a good game, so it hasn't been a good series for them. So good for him. He gets to watch his team probably win today. But we have some soccer to talk about. FC Dallas and Sporting Kansas City drew 2-2 last night. We're going to talk about that game, but in keeping with the theme of poor soccer, I think we're going to have Thad. We got some KC Current talk as well, right? I heard that game did not go as planned.
No, it was a 3-0 loss in Portland. They didn't look good. I think they were outshot 15-1 for shots on goal or something.
Oh, my
like that.
word.
I know they have injuries. I know they have the Challenge Cup semifinal coming up in midweek this week. But the lineup they put out was very not offensive. So,
or very offensive, depending on how you look at it.
it was not a lot of positive for the current. The current flowed negative yesterday. They've been really good most of this year, but in the Challenge Cup. But we'll see how they go.
Is that AC or DC? Oh, sorry.
Boo. Both of your jokes. Boo. Okay, well, we got a lot of Current talk out of that. That was maybe 30 seconds of it?
Well, there wasn't a lot to good positive to talk about.
Yeah.
But the positive is they were playing in the Challenge Cup semifinal. I think it's Wednesday.
And who's that against?
Ooh, he's being challenged here.
Oh.
Dang. North Carolina.
Okay.
He said confidently.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll hope they can turn it around. There was some positive from the Sporting KC game that we can talk about, I guess, right? We can turn that into a full podcast, I think, can't we, boys?
Oh, yeah.
Of course we can. We can do whatever.
And here's my question to you. That game yesterday, watching that, do you walk out of there feeling like there's a positive direction attained or a negative or neutral?
That's a good question. And I guess from the game, I can say that it felt like there was a positive direction. But then at the same time, we now know we haven't potted since the news of Gadi Kinda. So at the same time, we now know that this is it and this is all we have for the rest of the season, which doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
Not for the rest of the season necessarily. Till the next transfer window at least, though.
Which opens when?
July 7th.
Oh, that's sooner than I was thinking.
7 or 8 weeks. So there's like 7 or 8 weeks that they don't have a transfer window. And they have, during that time, you have all the other teams in the world off, so it'll be easier to find somebody without having to buy them out or something like that. And they do have money. The problem is they don't have a DP slot. They can't go too high with value. Although they could bring in probably 2 players that could potentially be better than what is playing right now or close to it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe today, maybe another pod, but where it's the biggest area of need now that Gadi's gone. We had that discussion not too long ago, but that may have changed things too. But
yeah, I suppose we can save that one for another conversation. But I want to hear what you think about Thad's question there. Is the team going in the right direction? Or
well, I mean, you can look at it. It's the first time we scored 2 goals in a game all season, right? Right.
That's cool.
But it's also the first time Dallas scored on the road, and they scored twice against us. So,
and one of those goals came from a PK that, in my opinion, was quite questionable.
Okay, but hey, I mean, it shows the value of positioning. Daniel used his body well. He returned the guy, and then he sold it well, too. But, yeah, I mean, well done, Daniel. Come on.
He sold it well, and as Thad and I learned in our training talk with him a couple weeks ago, he knows how to do it. He's mastered the art of falling down, the art of getting fouled.
I'm not sure he's mastered the art, otherwise he would probably draw a lot more. But he is much more cognizant of it than, say, a center forward on the team.
Yeah, we were talking about Khiry Shelton that week, and that's another one. Khiry just continued to take a beating in this game. There were at least a couple that it was just blowing my mind that there was no whistle.
Yeah, he was not diving and got taken down, and there was no call.
The first one felt like revenge from the referee association. Like, legitimately, it was like, no one even questioned it. Like, that guy just got tackled hard, and the play continued without a thought. And it just felt like, yeah, take that, Khiry.
Yeah, the pro has a little hit list for the referees to just take out, right? I'm not totally sure that we want to go on record saying that, but...
Well, you already did, and I'm not editing
it's
it.
It's all
so.
Prognostication.
But, yeah, I'm going to have to re-release that bit about Daniel talking about the art of getting fouled and all of that this week. So,
and I did not see it live because I was late to the game for other reasons, but looking back at the replay, I thought it was at least a fair call. It may have been softer than some, but it was definitely more earned than some that I've seen also. So.
Did you see the Salloi and the guy that fouled him, the discussion before the PK?
No, I did not.
Because it was clear. It was clear that Daniel said something to the guy like he was acknowledging he knew he went down quite easy.
Yeah,
and then the guy even
exchanged.
turned and looked at the referee, was like, come on, did you hear that? Like, come on. Oh man, but yeah, it sucks, but that's what worked. And then another example of it again is what Felipe Hernandez did. The weird thing where he runs by the keeper and grazes him on the head. Really dumb of him. It was a terrible look for Felipe to do it. I look at him differently now, if I'm being honest with you, after him doing it. But whatever that keeper did, it looked ridiculous, but that's what drew attention to it, and it very well likely could have resulted in some punishment.
Yeah, I mean, people have done less and gotten cards. It was in Orlando. I can't remember who it was, but Kaká got ruffled somebody's hair and got a card for him. And they were former teammates. They were friends. So it wasn't even remotely antagonizing.
Yeah, when I watched the replay of Felipe doing that, my first thing was I looked up, do these guys know each other? Was that just a love pat on the head? But no, I guess it was not at all. That was just a heat of the moment. He was all fired up and just felt like he had to poke this guy in the back of the head. It's just a very childish, gross thing. I really hated it.
I think as it comes out, we'll probably find out that there was a bug on the back of his head, and he was just trying to help him out.
Oh man, I hope.
There was a moth.
Might have been a sucks to be you little comment during that. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Those are two things that two players like did things that embellished a little bit. Salloi going, knows the art of going down, and this keeper making a show of this. Like non-soccer fans see that, and that is a stain on our game. But him doing it is what drew attention to it, and it worked. So we still incentivize this negative behavior.
Well, it didn't work in that
That's
Felipe
right.
didn't get a red card or
You're right, but they
got
looked
a
at
talking
it.
to.
But they looked at it.
Yeah.
And he did get a talking to, whatever that means.
But yeah, I mean, he's probably doesn't care what a ref says to him after being yelled at by Vermes for a couple of years. I mean,
Right.
that's like nothing, right?
Yeah.
But there's a photographer sitting next to me who shoots a lot of other sports. He's not a soccer guy. I mean, he's a very good photographer. But he's sitting there going, why are these guys diving all the time? Damn, MLS dives all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I said, Sporting doesn't do it as much as other teams by far. But
A feeble defense there, but all we can muster.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so the first goal that Dallas scored, both goals were well taken,
They were.
but I'm just going to pose the question here without comment. Do we have questions about Tim Melia on this free kick?
Yeah, I think he was too far to the near post myself. I mean, you can go forward, okay? Anybody knows you can go forward, whether you're an outfielder in baseball or whatever. You can always go forward. Going back is difficult. So to me, he was too far forward there. Should have stepped a few steps back. Of course, that's easy to say, after what happened. Yeah. But that just seems logical to me. I think he was too far near post.
Yeah, I mean, I won't disagree just because of the result. I mean, he may have read something different that we didn't see, because I will give him the benefit of the doubt that he knows more about it than I do.
Right,
but
right.
It did look like he was probably just a little bit out of the right spot, but it was still a fantastic shot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was, and he was out of position, but still, even that being said, I'm still not sure how the ball went over him. Or, like, I still don't understand how he missed the ball. Like, how the ball goes over a keeper and under the post like that. That just confuses me.
Well, even
The
more
pace
so,
on
it
it,
actually
I'm sure.
deflected off a defender's head.
Yeah. Yeah, defender being Courtney Ford, who had another pretty good game.
Yeah. Holes and all.
Yes, we did discover, thank you to the online sleuths that discovered it for us, some soccer players cut holes in the back of their socks to relieve the pressure from the tight socks. And Thad, we were all kind of confused last week. We got our answer.
I have seen some holes in socks, but his look like Swiss cheese.
Yes, his were extravagant.
By far.
It's going to be a new fashion trend. Yeah, you're
mean,
going to see
I
it in
even-
all stores now.
I even made sure to take a good shot of it last night just to get a good shot of how many holes was in his socks.
Well, whatever he's doing seems to be working. I know, Thad, you wanted to talk about the defense tonight, so I will go to you to give your thoughts on the defense tonight.
Well, actually, I'm going to go back and answer my own question earlier, because asking the question sometimes is not an answer in itself.
I did move on from that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
Is the
it's-
team in the right direction, Thad Bell?
If there's a scale of 10 being, yes, they're doing much better, and 0 being they're going in absolutely the wrong direction, I would give them a 6. So, yes, I think there was positive out of that performance.
Very cold take there, but okay. It was a reasonable take.
I know. That's Cody's here for the hot takes. I'm here to actually give my actual opinion.
I'm trying to make content here, you guys.
I know, but I have some ethics too. So, but no, I think it was a positive that they played well for big chunks of the game against a team they've struggled against for the last few years. Dallas did not come out the way they have the last few years and time wasting in the first minute. I mean, they still did some Dallas things, but under a new manager, they're trying to play. They have the talent. There's no reason they shouldn't play. And they came out and played, and Sporting looked better against them, partly because of that, partly because I think Sporting is getting a little healthier mentally. They're not there yet. I mean, I'm not going to say like they're going to go win the next 12 games, because that'd be a hell of a good bet, though, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't take that bet, but
Yeah, me either. But I did see positive. There was chunks where they controlled the game. They were creating some good chances that the keeper had to make some good saves on, or a defender had to get the back post on that one Salloi shot. So there was good positives there.
And they were doing that. I mean, yeah, I know we were just going to talk about the defense there, but I'm still on the midfield. And so they were doing that with 2 8s and Uri at the 6 is basically what we're calling what the midfield game was there, like two 8s and a 6. And Uri had a very poor game. Very poor game. I saw there was like one pass or maybe a moment and a half that I was like, I give him like a positive moment. But every other thing, there were just some horrendous passes there. And yeah, that was troubling. And then I do agree with what you're saying. Like there was a little more going forward, but I'm just not sure how it was happening. I think it's just Logan Ndenbe has to like bypass the midfield himself by dribbling up the wing, and that's how chances are getting created. Because it's just and again I'm kind of a Remy Voltaire guy, but like that's our quote unquote 10. Like is that what we're going for as a 10 right now? Like if that's the case, like the struggles are going to continue there.
There's a lot of years where they never have a true 10 anyway. I mean, Benny's been the closest to a true 10 since whenever. But yeah, going back to Yuri, the Catalan ginger.
Yes.
We love the guy. I love the guy. He's a super great guy. And I do hope that he gets into form. I mean, he's not had that chance yet. I don't think he's the only problem in this offense or defense or midfield.
Yeah, we love Uri. I wasn't hating on him. I think he would acknowledge that he played very poorly as well.
We'll have to have him on a Tuesday talk and see what we can get.
That's a good one. Who do we want this week? Courtney Ford?
That wouldn't be bad. We could definitely delve into the holes, or other things.
Maybe the actual soccer he's playing?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other one. How about the guy we talked to last week? Robert Volader. I nailed that last name, by the way. Nailed it.
Yes, you did.
I think other than one very obvious, got juked by Jesus.
On the goal.
Yeah. I thought he played pretty well. I mean, not perfect, but he's also 20. So, and that is a positive sign, as we had 2 of our 3 U22 initiative guys start last night, and a third one come in off the bench.
Yeah, I thought he did decent. He did look very bad on the goal. But then, right after him, like he got beat, and then Duke was right there and didn't close him down. And that was, so you can't just put it necessarily on him. Like it wasn't necessarily the greatest defensive moment from anyone on our team, but it was a good goal.
And sorry, Robert, go ahead.
Oh, no, since we're talking about that, attack-wise, what do you think, how do you think Volader compares to Fontes as a left center back?
Did I see enough to know that? I feel like the moments I saw as a center back going forward, it seemed to be Courtney Ford, wasn't it?
I think Robbie does make some good passes. He's not Fontes level of make those passes.
Right.
As I think, basically, I think Fontes, when he was at his best so far this year, is basically taking over the Ilie role of the long passes from the 6, because the 6 wasn't doing it. But with Fontes out for whatever reason, benched because somebody's unhappy with him, maybe. But anyway,
You didn't need to fade away from the microphone for that.
He was leaking confidence terribly as he said that.
But I think he has that ability in him. He's still 20, so I mean,
right.
Wearing a knee brace.
Yeah,
I don't like that. It makes me nervous, especially with this team.
Nerval?
Yeah, sorry. I hope my family doesn't listen to this. That's the thing my dad says. Let's just skip right past that. I didn't just say nerval.
Your mom does listen to these,
Yes.
But as far as Fontes goes, obviously he's that penetrating pass guy, interior passing guy that we're kind of missing right now in some ways. But I'm glad to see Volader out there, and the back 4. I think we're pretty solid.
Robbie is ROBI, by the way.
Yes.
How do you know that?
How do you not know that?
I mean, I spelled it originally ROBBIE. And then I went with a Y, and then I actually saw that Maines, or one of his old team, tweeted happy birthday, and it had ROBI. So I switched it last minute.
Okay, good to know. What about Cam Duke as the right back, guys?
Is he 21 now? Yeah, his birthday was like coming up when we did that interview, wasn't it?
That's right.
I think so.
This podcast is brought to you by AT&T Fiber with Authy.
Whether you're into watching horror movies from your basement, watching sports from your backyard, or watching trashy reality shows from inside your car that's parked all the way in the driveway so no one in your family judges you, AT&T Fiber with All-Fi is the best way to watch whatever you want from wherever you are.
Get AT&T Fiber with All-Fi and add some Wi-Fi square footage to your house. Limited availability in select areas. Go to att.com/hypergig to check eligibility. Coverage requires extenders at additional charge.
Duke.
Yes. What'd you think?
Meh.
I think he goes forward as good as any of the other outside backs, for damn sure. His defense is not the highest, but it wasn't that bad.
There was a moment in the 75th minute he was beat over the top, and he had Courtney Ford coming to cover him, and he really made a risky attempt at a tackle that could have turned out bad. But I mean, he's going to learn. His first game in, you can't expect brilliance. But he had some great entry work in the moments before goal number 2, and then in the lead up to goal number 2 as well, with penetrating balls and then following up to be available. So that was good.
He was doing the work that Vermes requires from the job. There was one play he won the ball, then lost it, and then won it right back again. Right. So he was doing the work. Yeah,
and it's not his first game in at that spot, but it's not his normal spot. I agree.
Sure.
Again, if he plays there, and I'm guessing Zusi having a quad injury means he'll play a few games there, if nothing else.
You got the Open Cup match coming up too, so
yes,
one extra match.
And I'm not sure when Caden Pierre gets back.
Do we know anything about the injury to Zusi?
Just that it was a quad.
Right.
That's all anybody said, and I'm going to make the assumption that it's a minimum of 2 or 3 weeks.
Laughable question of me to ask there.
So not just precautionary, huh? Okay. All right.
As long as he doesn't have minor surgery first.
Yeah, no, all injuries just scare me now. Volader with the brace, just I don't like it.
And that's the bad thing about sometimes when these happen. Like now you're down to, okay, there's only one guy to play this spot, or there's this guy and a 16-year-old to play this spot. It starts to make you a little nervous.
It does.
So what about that second goal? Or after Johnny's PK, where did he go to? That was interesting.
Yes, that was something we wanted to talk about. It looked like Johnny, after scoring his PK, went to the section of the Cauldron where the Ultras reside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so that was cool. And then I'm also told after the game he went over to them and maybe made some peace. So that's good to know. Just an update on the Ultras situation.
Yeah, he was headed to the right corner, and then it's like something clicked in his mind. And he's like headed back to the Ultras, and yeah, it was a good moment, I think. I hope anyway.
Yeah, and I think Johnny realized he did wrong. I mean, regardless of what they may have said to him, you don't go interact with fans like that. It has to be all positive, not negative.
Johnny, a grown man, probably realized he did something wrong. If only the other side would have acknowledged such a thing as well, but we'll just ignore that.
Yeah, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and just accept it,
Yeah, bad look from the Ultras still. Anyway. I'm not trying to make enemies from that group here, but not a good look.
Yeah, go stand in the Calder next to him, Cody. Cody's got red hair.
At that Cody then. Okay. What else are we missing from this game, gentlemen?
All right, let's talk about the time we were up a man, right?
Okay.
All right. So Khiry Shelton to me is not the guy that you want at a center forward in that moment, but I'm not going to talk about Khiry. I'm going to talk about Salloi.
Start with Khiry, but not talk about Khiry.
Well, I'm going to allude to Khiry. Salloi's playing out wide in this moment. And, okay, the theory is that's where the space is. Dallas is packing it in. I get that. But, hey, there's a lot of space out there, okay? And think about the first goal. Daniel in the box, using his body well, drawing a PK. What's the second goal? Daniel in the box, a nice touch and turn, finishes the ball. Daniel does that stuff well. It just bugs the hell out of me that he hangs out so wide when we're up a man, there's space in the box, we need a goal to win the game. Get your butt, Daniel, in the box and do what you do well. That is not Khiry Shelton's game first place. I think maybe Vujnovic should have been in there for him. But, Daniel, get in the box more. We need you in there.
So 2 things to that. Why don't we play Daniel? Why don't we just put him at striker then? It sounds like you're describing that he's a good striker. Why don't you just put him at striker?
Well, I think he's a very good wide player too. And I think Khiry for, the most of the match, he had a good match. But when it's so packed in tight, that's not Kyrie's game. Yeah. Khiry doesn't makes himself available in spaces. That's not Kyrie's thing.
Kyrie's thing, it played out perfectly at one point in that game, and Nate even mentioned it. Kyrie's fast and he's big and he's like strong and kind of hold people off. So and we always talk about it's the hold up game, but sometimes all he has to do is just push the ball into space away from a center back, and then
right.
that alone just gives the team enough time to get up the field.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's good. That's awesome. He does that well, but if that's what we're talking about, the best thing our striker does, then yes, there's obviously a large issue there.
There's still a lot of other good things he does back in the middle, but it's not something that's easy to go here, here, and here, everything. It's that other stuff that's more intangible. But I get what everybody's saying. And yes, I would actually have liked to have seen Nikola come in instead.
Where? Why on earth? How do you not bring him in?
Well, that's the thing. We're not at training. We're not in the locker room. We don't know what's going on there. So it's easy for us to say those kind of things that he should be in there.
All right.
But
well, that's why I was asking this question. Like, is there something that has he not been doing the right things on the training ground, or it must be the case, right?
For Nikola, I don't see that, the little bit of training that we get to see, but I will say it was either the last one I went to or the one before that. Shelton was just banging in goals, like left and right.
Okay.
It's like,
training?
where's this? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I've also seen Nikola bang in a few in training that were pretty awesome also. I think in the last one I went to, him and Johnny and a couple of the other young guys were out after everybody else went in and just working on touch, shot type of stuff. I don't want to give away secrets of what their training method is. But it was, typical finishing kind of stuff, passing and finishing stuff. I would like to have seen Nikola come in instead of Khiry because I do think he might be better in that situation. I'm not sure, but I think he might be better. I'd like to see it at least. But the one thing is Khiry should be able to body up, and if he's not making these runs in the box, he needs to at least be screening people, doing picks essentially, keeping a center back from moving to another spot by owning a spot, that sort of thing. Back to Salloi for a second. I go back to even when he was younger, and it was in my mind like, why doesn't he play center forward? Because he's got a knack for scoring goals. He didn't want to play center forward. He wants to play wing. He feels safer coming from outside to in rather than being in. And that was his words back then. He's older and more mature and in theory stronger. So I think he's better in the box than he used to be, but I still think he feels much more comfortable being from the outside in. So I would rather see Salloi be where he's comfortable and Johnny be where he's comfortable then instead of doing one of those where you move 2 or 3 guys to where you think they're better and now nobody's comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got Ndembe on that left side. Dallas is packing it in. You got Ndembe over there. You've got Felipe Hernandez over there. You got Salloi over there, and that just kind of mucks things up anyway. There's not a whole lot of space over there. I had a couple of comments on our page about how they're so frustrated they didn't even try the right side much in those last 10 minutes, 15 minutes when we were up a man. So I get where they're coming from.
On the positive side, I was shooting on that left side. So.
Yeah, right. But going back to Shelton, I think we've all figured out that the less he touches the ball, the better. Meaning, when the ball comes to his feet, his first touch is good. He's fine. He holds up the play, make a simple pass, and then get rid of the ball and run off the ball. But the more he touches it, it's awkward. He unintentionally turns out doing something good sometimes because his feet get tripped up or mixed up on him, and just touch the ball less and get off the ball movement and do that thing, Khiry.
The one shot he made last night that I think the propaganda Twitter account said was, it was a good half volley attempt or something. No, he basically almost tripped and just kind of poked the ball forward.
Yeah.
Again, I like Khiry, and I think in the right spots he's very, very good. I think he is not at his best this year. It's not defensible. In the past, I've very much defended Khiry a lot. I just don't think this year he is doing as good as he has in the past.
Yeah.
The whole team isn't, but you need somebody there doing a little bit better.
I know, and I found myself legitimately kind of like feeling sorry for Khiry in the grind that he is currently in. Just after one of those hits he took where the play just continued. No one thought a second about it. And then there was one, he did get a pretty decent shot off at one point in this game and forced over actually quite a good save.
Yeah.
And it was just like that. You could just feel his pain in his head there. It's like every single thing I do, it just doesn't work. Like the header in the last game that it looked good, it just, right at the keeper, and then he gets a good shot off this one. It's just, I felt myself feeling sorry for him.
Didn't he get a half decent header in this game too?
In
the second half?
You say there was a half decent chance, but I don't think it was a good header. It just kind of glanced off of his head.
Yeah,
the one I
remember
remember.
now. I have to go look it back up again.
But I want to talk about Vujnovic in this regard. And I didn't mean to say there's some controversy that we're missing. I'm only pointing this out because it just seems to me that there must be something more than just for the standard of Vermes favors Shelton over him right now. Because I think if that was just the case, I think we would have seen him for 5 minutes or something in this last game. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems like maybe there's more, just something there. Maybe it's not something in training or he's being a dick in training or something. It could have just been the last performance he saw out of him. He just didn't see anything and, didn't want to bring him in this one. But to me, it seems like there must be something there beyond just, I favor Shelton a little more right now.
And I think you actually made a really good observation there, Cody. I know that's rare that I'm going to give you that much credit, right?
Rare that I make a good observation and that you credit me for it.
No, you have way more than what I give you credit for. I do think in Nikola's last game that he got significant time in. I don't remember which one it was. He did not look all that good. Mm-hmm. Now, the rest of the team, again, did not look all that good either. And he still is in that trying to learn the league and muscle up probably and all that other good stuff. Giannis is a different guy, so him not having he has more time, but he's still not, fully integrated in the team.
Right.
But he's just a different kind of player. And his creation is going to be by him making the first step, the fast, quick step, and forcing people to close in on him and foul him and stuff like that.
So you're kind of alleging that is why it's maybe harder for Vermes to make that sub in the game is because it's going to just kind of change heavily the way they're playing.
Also, having asked Vermes these questions 100 times, I'm not going to repeat asking the same question when I'm pretty sure what the answers will be. Mm-hmm. But after the red card, Sporting kind of faltered for a little bit. I felt they weren't making use of that man advantage. It's like they had to mentally adjust to that, right? Dallas just fell into doing the bunker like they should in that case. When after a few minutes, Sporting started to pick it up and started to get a little better offense, a little better pressure. It might have been all too much to one side or it wasn't as effective. But there for a while, they weren't even getting a good, surround the bunker type of situation, right? But when they finally started to get that, from Vermes' perspective, if he's happy with the game state, he's not making a change. Mm-hmm. There's not somebody tired, not somebody hurt. He thinks that they're creating chances, and putting somebody else in at that point maybe throws off that ability, because now they got to readjust to somebody else and a different person and different style, different mentality or whatever. I think that might be one reason that Vermes doesn't do it. And I think that also would have been the third sub. So if somebody went down in the last 5 minutes, you would have been now playing even. So I think there's all of those little factors in there that we just go, put somebody new in, put somebody different.
It's easy to say that.
And he's sitting there going, I'm trying to get a result out of this. It's bad that a 1 or a 2-2 draw at home against a good team is a positive result at this point. But it is a positive result at this point. So now you're just trying to build. Two
straight draws next week, going to make it a streak, an undefeated streak, gentlemen. Some positive, right?
At New York City in one of their 17 different home locations.
Yeah, this year, yeah. Which one is it? I don't even know. It's at Yankee Stadium?
I think somebody said it was at Met.
Oh, really?
I don't. This is not accurate information. I admit that. And somebody said that, and I don't know if it was a joke or reality. So I admit that.
Okay. Speaking of that, Nashville opens a new stadium today. St. Louis next year. Inter Miami got a big step forward to their new stadium. We're looking at you, NYFC, in New England. Get those stadiums, guys.
I've been rooting for New York City FC to get their stadium in one of the boroughs.
Of course, you're a Manchester City fan.
Well, no, I have no allegiance. I feel no allegiance to them as a Manchester City fan. It's just, isn't that why they, that was like why they felt there was an opportunity for a team there. Like the other, those other guys are in Jersey. Like, we're going to be in the boroughs. We're your team.
Right, yeah.
And wasn't the promise that 3 years that was Yankee Stadium, that was the max? In 3 years, they're going to have a location?
Yeah, but you know how this works, Cody. Come on.
Good Lord.
Yeah. It's like politics, man. I make the promise, I get elected. Oh, wait. No, there was complications we did not foresee.
Right. I hear they have a lead still in New York, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool area, too. Like by the water. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so,
I guess it's all by the water there, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Former parking garage, that area.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I'm rooting. My sister, brother-in-law live out there. I go there often. I'm rooting for them to have a cool spot to go see some soccer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do want them to have something, not because I like them in any way, shape, or form, but every team should have its home. I mean, you got to share once in a while or something, but that's one thing. But they should have a home. They're a big enough brand. They're in a big city. They should have a home.
So, are we going to make it a streak next week?
No.
No? A loss coming? I feel like a loss is coming.
You never know, man. I mean, Sporting tends to play
exactly
up to better teams.
Yes.
In the past.
That's why I said I feel like a loss is coming. Every time in my life I go into it like, all right, we're about to get rocked here, boys. Then they turn out an awesome win. So,
what do you think, Robert?
I think that might be a little bit in the past. Not sure this team is capable of that. Sorry.
Different team this year. You're right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And New York is very capable of exploding 4 or 5 goals. So, yeah.
Yes, they are. And Sporting is perfectly capable of exploding with 1.
Hey, 2. We got up to 2. Come on.
All right. Well, on that high note, we'll talk to you guys next week. Go Sporting!
Skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong and all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team.